Greetings, lovely listeners. I'm Goddess Arroya, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to Elevate and Dominate, the place where power meets play.
Hello, darlings. I'm Mistress Odessa, and alongside the incredible Head Mistress Kayla and Goddess Arroya, we're your guides into the captivating world of alternative dominant women.
That's right, whether we're exploring the intricacies of dom-sub relationships or celebrating the sheer strength of women, this podcast is your VIP path to an empowering and unapologetically bold journey.
We're not holding back anything, shedding light on the real stories in the sex work industry to share our own experience and insights.
So buckle up, because you're in for a thrilling ride filled with enlightenment, entertainment, and empowerment.
Get ready to be captivated by our conversations where every episode is a celebration of the extraordinary and the fearless.
Welcome to the Elevate and Dominate podcast.
I am Mistress Ms Madyson A, DelaRough. I am one of the board advisors for DomCon International. I take care of currently all the selection for the public classes. I create the graphics that announce the public classes on FetLife, IG, and Twitter, as well as I do the graphics for all of the socials, including my own personal social, which is the Gender Expansive Social. I started attending DomCon when they were in Atlanta still in 2004, and after getting to the final day of the convention, that Sunday, I hadn't met Headmistress Cyan, but she stopped me and she said, "Hey, are you that little girl from Phoenix?" And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "Can you sit down for a second? I'd like to talk to you." And I said, "Sure, not a problem." It didn't seem odd that she was feeling for a seat. I did not know at the time she is legally blind. So she's sitting here talking with me, and she had said lots of people had come up. They complimented how I never looked the exact same any of the days I was there. I had a wide varieties of looks. I was extremely photogenic. I was really helpful with other people taking photos. And she asked if I'd be interested in teaching a class. And I told her I'd never taught a class, so when would I need to submit the information? She's like, "Oh, well, we do this again around Mother's Day in Los Angeles, so it'd be a little closer to you. If you taught a class, you would hear the things that you would receive in exchange." I'm like, "Okay." So I got together with friends and did the bullet points, got all the information together, sent it to her for review, and she's like, "This is wonderful. We're really going to enjoy having this class," because it was before everyone was doing makeup tutorials on YouTube and TikTok and all the different places. So the class went over well. I eventually added a few more classes, and she said, "Well, I'm opening a dungeon in Los Angeles." I said, "Okay." So I drove from Phoenix, Arizona to Los Angeles, California to the LAX Hilton to hear her mission statement. And I was sitting in the very back, and I was so moved that she wanted the same thing I wanted in terms of having a professional place where I could safely work, network with other professionals, and share my knowledge. So I commuted from Phoenix, Arizona to Los Angeles, California from 2012 to 2016. Because I believed in what she had to say, and I wanted to learn from someone who had more time for me. Over the years, she has watched me grow and change and evolve, so that even when I was more independent and I was just a guest mistress there, I still was putting in community work. I was making sure that if I could help someone along the way, that I did. I moved several times. I was in Tucson, Arizona in 2018, getting ready for the 2019 Los Angeles DomCon. I was speaking with my non-binary roommate, what are you going to wear to the socials? Because I'm an organized person and I like having lists so I know and don't have to worry about it when I get to the event. And they said, well, I don't go to the socials. And I just cocked my head and said, why? And they began to explain to me that they weren't a professional dominatrix or dom, so they don't go to the pro-dom social. They didn't identify as a femdom. They are very masculine presenting. They didn't feel comfortable going to the male dom social because there was too much machismo. They've been doing this a long time, so they weren't comfortable going to the newbie social. There wasn't anything for them. And I said, you know what? If they make me mistress of ceremony, I will definitely go ahead and create a social so that you and other people like yourself have somewhere to meet, mingle, and network, like everyone that attends. And 36 days later, I was given the opportunity to be mistress of ceremony. And that's when I created the Gender Expansive Social. So our non-binary, MX, they, them, however else you define yourself, have a place to network, to meet, mingle, and really feel at home here, because Cyan is a transgendered woman. I am not. I'm cis female, but I'm very much an ally, and I want people to feel seen, heard, and understood, especially at this event. I have learned that what is said to someone in reference to how they identify is just as important for them as me being seen as a biracial woman. Yes, I look ethnic, but I am of two different races. I don't hold one race higher than the other. I want to have people respect the reality that is me. So in looking at that and how that applies to the people that attend the social, some people identify as fae. That was a new one for me. So I sat down with that person and I'm like, please tell me more, because I want to make sure I understand how to make you and anyone who's like you feel welcomed, feel accepted, feel seen, feel heard. Being any kind of marginalized group is not okay. We always get treated really badly, and I don't want that to be an experience that's associated with DomCon. I'm really proud to be a person of color on the board, making room for other people of color to feel confident in coming and talking to me or any of the other board members about, hey, could we possibly look at doing this? One of the things that I am going to speak with Cyan in reference to that is our neurodiverse patrons. I'm going to create a few things, have them for sale, and the proceeds from that sale will go toward having a quiet room. Off in the far corner, dim lights, water's going to be in the room. It will be kept at a comfortable temperature. Because if you're not staying in the host hotel, and a lot of people live in LA, why would you stay at the hotel? You know, it's just an easy little jaunt back and forth. They can only hide in the bathroom. I don't want to hide in the bathroom. I don't want anyone to feel that they have to hide in the bathroom. And I'm going to do all that I can to create that space for them, because I got overwhelmed after opening ceremonies. And I had the privilege of going to my hotel room here in the host hotel. And it was quiet. This will give everyone an opportunity to have somewhere that they can just go in, they know it's going to be quiet, there'll be someone at the door to make sure that it stays quiet, there's no loud sounds. And whatever I need to do as a board member, as someone who is concerned about this, I'm willing to do. It's the same reason why I started the Alphabet Mafia of Kink.com, because the proceeds go to further pay for financial responsibilities of the social. Most people think DOMs make all this money. Well, they do, but they also have all these bills and all the maintenance. That the behind the scenes stuff is what most people don't see. And I'm very fortunate to be able to say my whole family knows what I do. And I've sat down with even my mother, who was born in 1928, and let her know this is what I do. And I explained the behind the scenes to her. And before she passed away in 2003, she got to sit in on a reverse race play scene I did. And it was pretty harsh. You know, this gentleman was a cis white male and wanted to pay reparations. I had heard about from my mother how hard it was for people of color in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. And I took that knowledge to that session. And when it was all done, I got him into a bath. The door to the bathroom had a mirror, so I angled it so I could still see him and sit and decompress with my mom. And she just started crying. And I'm like reaching for the phone, not breaking eye contact with her. How can I help you? She was so proud of me. She's like, I never thought you were really paying attention. I mean, I know you heard me, but I didn't think you really got it until I saw what you did. That even though you have the knowledge of some of the harsher things that have happened to people of color, you were still compassionate enough in the end to make sure that this person was treated like a person, a human being, with kindness and common decency. So I don't know what other jobs you may want, but this is what you need to do the rest of your life, because I've never seen you so strong and so thoughtful and caring and wise. So my mother told me to be a professional dominatrix, and I'm not going against her. Well, I have been gifted a lot of wonderful things to do afterwards for decompression, from elaborate cruises and vacations to someone gifted me a weekend at their cabin in the mountains so that I could turn off all the electronical things. I have a therapist. I am very happy to have a therapist so that if things come up, I can talk with another professional that can help me help myself so that I understand, oh, well, this was triggered by this. So how do I avoid A so that I can just get to the good part? Is there something about whatever A is that had me so stressed out? Is it something within me or is it something external? So my therapist knows, hey, you're going to get a call, an email, a text message, something. A day or two afterwards, we're going to schedule a sit down for an hour, and we're going to take the time to unpack everything that's happened. As a board member, especially someone who is now selecting the public classes. Yes, Headmistress Cyan St. James has the final approval, but she put me in charge of making sure that all the classes we have aren't all the same people. That if it's a small classroom and this particular presenter is new, do they have more information that they've provided to us that would lean me into going, you know what, they need a classroom that's going to hold 45 people instead of 30. Or they're going to need more space because they're doing ropes or suspension or rigging of some kind. So I sit for 10 days once the cutoff date comes, and that's all I do. If I've seen the presenter before, I know, okay, I know how their style is. Here's a new class that they're presenting. Is this class going to be well received by the public? So far, this is now my second DomCon that I've done that. All the classes have been well received. Everyone's been really excited to share with me. Oh, I can't wait to see if this person's going to be selected for LA, or maybe they'll be in New Orleans next year because they can't make it to LA. So we do have everyone fill out ratings and comments so that I can review them, so that I can provide the very best of the best out there. And not just someone who's got 20, 30, 40 years, but newcomers who've really put in the time to learn what they're passionate about. And even though there are some subjects that, like fire play, we can't do fire play in the hotel, but fire play education we can do, how to be safe when doing it, what type of materials that can be used, and I'm very excited to present that to Cyan so that I can explain to her and get her approval for fire play education. This person has done this and this and this in the community. Here are the videos that they've recorded from their fire sessions. Because a lot of us do offer sessions that aren't allowed in a more public space. I want the education and the safety behind that to be forefront. Just because it might not be my yum, I'm not going to yuck someone else's. It's the centerpiece from our New Orleans program. I got really lucky and worked very hard to get that spot, and it's worked out. I am based in Las Vegas, Nevada. I do travel frequently. I love traveling to new places, and I am passport ready. You can get a hold of me at MsMadyson.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and you are such a legend to us, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Elevate and Dominate podcast. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay tuned every other week as we continue to unravel the mysteries of dominance and submission with a twist. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and share your thoughts using hashtag Elevate and DOMMENATE. Until next time, embrace your desires, explore the unknown, and always remember, power is meant to be shared.